Hello, it's Joe here for Joyrider TV, and yes, this is a Hobie 14. Just getting the weight forwards quickly so we don't kick the rudders up. Yeah, so it's Joe here for Joyrider TV. Thought I'd christen the Hobie 14 for the 2020 season. Just thought I'd go out, take her through a few tacks and jibes and see how she sits. I've just put the mast a little bit more upright than we had it last year, and it'll be interesting to see how that performs. So with the mast more upright, it's of course quite easy to oversheet the main, so I'm just going to be quite easy on the mainsail there, but it's looking very nice. We of course running with the OS3 Evo sail, which has got a square top on our 14 here. But one of the key considerations, and the most important consideration perhaps in this light wind, is not to try to sail too close to the wind and not to oversheet the main. Okay, so we're going to go for a tack. This is going to be the main test. So here we go, pulling the boom towards too early. Okay, tack number one, fail. So pushing the boom right out to try to get going again, to allow the boat to turn off the wind. It's been a while since I sailed this, as you can probably tell. So the easiest way to get going again is just to put the boat through a tack. So we're head to wind. I'm now going to stay on this side, pull the boom right out, and then the boat should turn off the wind. And then I'll just slowly sheet in again. Okay, early days. Cut me a little bit of slack here. I haven't sailed this for some time. But so that was tack number one, fail. All right, we're gonna go for tack number two. See if we can do any better. Cranking the main in hard. I'm not gonna be so hasty to move across the boat this time. So, bring her up into the wind. As soon as we head to wind, main sheet off, pulling the boom out a lot. Okay, and I can see on the telltales on the front that we're definitely through the wind nicely. So then we can set off again. Right, just getting a trapeze wire out of the way. Okay, lovely. So, tack number two, success, but perhaps getting the boat back up to speed was a bit sluggish. So let's see if we can improve on that at all. All right, got the main in tight, we're sailing close to the wind. Sorting the legs out, not going to be too hasty. Pushing her up, head to wind, sheeting out, pulling the boom out a bit. Moving across the boat. Oh, that was much better. Yeah, we didn't stop there for very long, and yeah, back up to speed. I'd say whether that was reasonable, who can say, but it's the best so far. So that's 3 tacks we've done there. We'll go for 10. Should we go for 10? All right, here we go. Next one, cranking her in, pushing away, not being too hasty, sheeting out when we're head to wind, pulling the boom out a bit, going across the boat, and then, oh, is that a stall? That's a stall. Okay, too hasty, they said. All right, so from the stall, the way I have been getting it going is to initiate another tack using the main sheet. But here, let's let the mainsail and the traveller out. We're going backwards quite nicely there. See if we can get her off the wind a bit. Okay, yeah, so main and traveller out to get her going. She seemed to respond to that. Okay, so I think that's 2 out of 4. Not too good so far, but with troubleshooting and problem solving, that one was another one where I was too hasty to get across the boat. So let's not be too hasty. I think that's the key. All right, sheeting in, getting ready. We're close to the wind, pushing it across, sheeting out when head to wind, moving across, and then as soon as I'm convinced that the boat is moving forwards, which means we've got grip with the rudders, then we start to sheet in. Okay, a little bit more wind now. Right, so that was number 5, so that's 3-2, we're winning. All right, next one. Don't be too hasty. Oh, we weren't too close to the wind there, letting the main out, continue the turn. Oh, we're at 3-3. All right, let's go for this. With the main out, she's a bit sluggish to come away from the wind, but with the traveller out as well, then she goes around. Okay, and not trying to get it going until we are definitely a good, what, 25 degrees away from head to wind, because if we're too close and we just try to get it going, we'll just go straight back up into the wind. Okay, so I think you'll find that's 3-3. It's even at the moment. All right, we're going to go for the next one. This is a good exercise, I tell you. All right, main sheet in. Let's not be too hasty. Uncleating and holding. Are we close enough? Yes, we are. So push it through there. Head to wind, boom comes out, continuing the turn. That's another fail. Another fail, so we're losing now. That's 4-3 to the other side. So just gonna, oh my goodness. This is the boat that lets you know if you know how to sail a catamaran, and at the moment I'm getting a bit of a thumbs down from the 14. Okay, at this time in the video, please do hit a good thumbs up button on YouTube. That means more people will get to see me failing on the 14, which I think will bring joy to a lot of people. Okay, I think we could probably put her in gear there. Oh, she's not having it. Okay, we're gonna go for a tack to see if we can get it going. Cranking it in, head to wind, pulling the boom towards. Also, by weighting this hull, means this hull wants to stop, that hull wants to go, which should help us bear away a bit as well. And I'm just gonna sit here. Just gonna sit here. We have blown it. Oh my goodness. Okay. So there we go, sitting on the leeward side seems to be a good technique to get it to bear away. All right, so what's the score? Is that was 4-3, I think, and then a long stall. Okay, so let's pay more attention to having the boat as close to the wind as we possibly can before we initiate the turn. See if that helps. Right, maybe I've got the main oversheeted a bit, which is just choking it a bit going in as well. Not so much wind here. Let's go for it. See if we can even the score. Sheeting in, watching the front. As soon as we head to wind, pulling out a lot of main. Loads of it, all of it. Staying on that side. Okay, we're through. Now, can move across the boat and start to sheet in when we're convinced. So again, looking for that, I don't know, maybe it's more than did I say 25 degrees before? That was wrong. 45 would be normal. So halfway between 45 and 90. If someone else would like to do the maths there, that'd be fine. Yeah, so before we try to get the boat going, we're definitely getting beyond 45 degrees just to make sure we don't stall again immediately. All right, so that's even the score at 4-4. Let's see if we can win this contest. All right, so making sure we're close to the wind. It does feel that maybe I'm oversheeting because as I said, the mast is more upright. That makes it very easy to oversheet. Yeah, there you are. Okay, feels good there. These wind indicators on the front are about at 45 degrees, so that's a good indication from those indicators that we're going the right way. Sheeting in, going up into the wind, head to wind, sheeting out, pulling the boom towards, staying on that side until we're definitely more than 45 degrees off the wind. And then you could just feel that bit of resistance on the rudders that says that yes, we are moving forwards. That is when we can start to sheet in again. If we sheet in before then the mainsail is just going to pull us back into the wind. Okay, so that's 5-4 to Joyrider TV. Right, let's go for number 10. All right, here we go. Let's do a nice one, not stall, sheeting out, pulling the boom towards, staying on this side. Yes, she's through, going across. Try not to spend too much time at the back of the boat. In this wind, it's not such a problem, but if the wind was a bit stronger, then we would probably be upside down before we knew it. Yeah, so there we are, we've gone 6-4 up, which means we're winning in this competition of Can We Tack the Hobie 14. Right, we're going to just go for a bit of extra credit. Bit oversheeted there, so our boat speed was down a little bit. No GPS today because the wind is quite light. It's probably only something like 6 knots, if that, maybe 5 knots. And we're just focusing on the tacking. All right, so we're going again. We're going quite nicely. I think I was oversheeting before. And pushing her up, sheeting out, pulling the boom towards, watching her turn. She's still going the right way. Let's see if, oh. Yeah, I've got a little bit of resistance on the rudders. Just bearing off a bit as I sheet in to get it going again. I think next time I go to an event where there's a Hobie 14 event on at the same time, I'm definitely going to pay attention to what these 14 sailors are doing. Maybe ask a few questions, because I am not the master of this boat, not even slightly. Okay, let's go for one more and then we'll start the downwind. All right, here we go. Cranking her in, sheeting out, boom towards. Oh, she's just done it again. We're actually going backwards here. I've reversed the rudders. Oh, cheeky. What did we do wrong there? A variety of things, but so I'm just going to let the traveller out as well, try to persuade her off the wind. Yeah, so that's, I think we've learnt something there, that if we are stalled, just letting the main sheet out is not enough to get her away from the wind. We have to let the traveller out as well, which is strangely quite similar to the tornado, where if you have stalled it, just letting the main out isn't enough. All right, yeah, we're going to go through another tack. Here we go. There we go. She's turning quite positively there. We've got a bit of turning momentum. So out of 12, I think we're now on, what is that, 6-6? In the comments below, please, if I have scored it wrong, but I think that's 6-6. All right, we're going to go for number 13. Unlucky for some, hopefully lucky for us. Cranking her in, going for the tack. Stalled it. God, what is going on? All right, we'll go for the dinghy sailor push push. So we're pushing the boom out to initiate a bit of backwards, and then when she's going forwards, I'll straighten up with the rudders. Push push pull pull, that is what they said. Yeah, push push pull pull. Worked pretty well there actually to get going again. All right, so we're down again, 7-6 to the 14. Maybe I was a bit complacent there. I thought she was just going to pop through. Maybe I had the main oversheeted a bit. All right, so going for it and sheeting out just before, just a millisecond before head to wind. I think that might have been where we went wrong on the last one, was sheeted out a little bit too late, because maybe by the time the tapes on the front say you're head to wind, you're actually beyond head to wind and you're already stalling, so sheeting out a little bit earlier. All right, so that's, what's the score there? 7-6 to us. No, it isn't 7, it's 7-7 I think. All right, one more, here we go, last one. So we're going to sheet out a little bit earlier, just there, just so that the mainsail doesn't choke our turning performance. We're definitely through the wind there, so sheeting in. And there we go. So there we go. I think that was 15 tacks in total. We got 8 and the boat beat us 7 times. So let's just go for the summary of what we learned there. First thing we learned is don't try to be too hasty. She doesn't like it if you rush her. So we'll just sit on the original windward side of the boat until she's well through the wind, because by sitting on that original windward side, which becomes the leeward side, that helps the boat to turn more away from the wind. That was number 1. Number 2 is release the main sheet just a second before you think you're head to wind, because if you have it in for a second too long, then your tack is stalled. Bad news. All right, so that was number 2. what was, oh, number 3, when stalled. Yeah, I think that was it for the tacking, wasn't it? Just don't rush it and let the main out a little bit earlier. Oh, and make sure you are as close to the wind as possible before you initiate the turn. When stalled, the 2 things we learnt there were let the traveller off and the main sheet to allow the boat to get going. Just the main sheet isn't enough. And then we did the old Oppie youth sailing technique of push, push, pull, pull, where we push the boom, push the rudders to really initiate a bit of backwards, and then when you start going forwards, you pull the rudders, give the boom a little tweak towards you, and off you go. So there we go. Now taking it downwind, and we're going to go into a jibe here. So I'm quite far forward, so I'm actually going to walk to the back of the boat. Oh, not a master of this boat. So our position on the downwind in this really light stuff is getting as far forwards as we can. So on the forward, as far forwards as we can, but without putting the deck under, because that is going to cause us some resistance as we go through. So perhaps I'm a little bit far forwards here. I think this is good. I dare say when the guys are racing, they'll be kind of up by the, maybe they'll be up by the mast, because when you're racing, you're not allowed to be comfortable. That is essential. God, like this, whew. Okay, and then on the downwind, just to recap for those at the back, is we're just watching the telltales on the bridle wires, trying to keep these bad boys flying straight across the boat. If they're coming back towards us too much, we'll turn more downwind. If they're going away from us at all, let's see if we can simulate that. There we go. Then that means we're too far downwind, so we'll just tweak her back up a few degrees. Lovely. Okay, but I'm not convinced by this hugging the mast position, both in terms of performance and comfort. So I'm going back to the comfy saddle on the front beam here. Yeah, she seems to pick up there. I think just getting the nose of the boat really far down, it lifts the rudders out a bit as well, which reduces the drag, angles the rig further forwards, which makes the rig more efficient on this course. It means you can have a really good look at what your wind indicators are doing because you're right next to them. So many bonus points there. All right, so there we go. I hope that has been an absolute barrel of laughs for you, and that you could take something away from that as well. It doesn't matter if you sail the Hobie 14 or any other type of catamaran, but the technique is important. But on other boats, you'll be able to get away with technique that isn't quite as extreme. So you definitely, on any catamaran for the tack, want to be sailing your boat as close to the wind as possible, and then having the main sheet cranked in as you go into the tack, and then as soon as you head to wind, let the main sheet off, and don't be too hasty to get across the boat unless it is pretty windy. On a boat with dagger boards, you can make all the mistakes in the book and it will still go through, but it's the boats like this, the old-fashioned boats, which aren't going to let you make any mistakes. So that's why these boats are so good for learning the maneuvers. Just going to finish off with another jibe. Okay, to the back of the boat before we start turning. Stick to the new side. Woohoo! And there we go. Yeah, so there we go. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to give the video a like. Subscribe to Joyrider TV if you haven't already. And if you want to support the channel, head over to totaljoyrider.com. get yourself a t-shirt or a hoodie or a flag. If not, I've got a Patreon site as well where you can support the Joyrider TV channel, and there'll be more coming up very soon, sooner than you think.